Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at the GR-2 from Kyoto's Revoltech line. The character itself, or robot, is from an anime called GR, Giant Robo. I'm not really familiar with it, but the character design looked really awesome, so I decided to pick it up. Now the box is incredibly banged up because the people I bought it from shipped it in, just a kind of plain generic mailer with a piece of cardboard in the front, so naturally it completely got wrecked. Not 100% sure if this is a legit product just because I got it from, where was it? Right, Hong Kong, and Hong Kong isn't the biggest place for legitimately gained products. I mean, half the time it's either a bootleg or it fell off a truck or something. Hopefully it's one of those cases where it might have fallen off a truck. I don't know, just want to clarify that in case I open it up and you're looking at it and it might in fact be a bootleg and not necessarily representative of the quality of this thing, but hold on a second and I'll get this out of pack. In all seriousness, as a general rule of thumb, I try not to buy from places that list Hong Kong as the address just because they have a pretty bad reputation, but looking at things another way, Hong Kong is one of the places where a lot of this stuff is manufactured, I believe, so, could entirely be a legitimate product that was just sold or whatever there. It's not necessarily stolen, bootlegged, or whatever, but here's a closer look at the GR-2. A really cool looking robot. Reminds me a fair deal of, Big O from the anime, Big O. Or is that actually American made? I don't know what the standard for that is, but, giant robots are always pretty neat. Especially because they work so well when you have other objects just in terms of scale and stuff. But this figure comes with, I believe this is a cannon arm here, in addition to some sort of another cannon. Actually, this must be the cannon arm, and the other one must be the one that goes over the shoulder. As well as a stand and some replacement hands. Now the stand comes in two pieces. This part just plugs into this one, and voila, we have a stand, or more of a base rather. Unless it's supposed to plug in the opposite direction. Nope, that's how it's supposed to plug in. Basically, the character has peg holes on his feet, so just plug a peg into a stand and wham, the character would look like he's flying if you could get the stand thing to stay pegged in. And assuming the weight of the character doesn't just flip the whole thing over. So yeah, it's kind of useless, but in the production photos they do actually pull it off, so I'll have to mess around with that a fair bit. Now besides that, we have the cannon arm here. It doesn't show which arm the actual cannon goes, but because these are revolver joints, either one should work. We would just need to pull off the arm. Try the other arm. There it goes. Easier that way because the actual joint's on that. And yes, that's the revolver joint for which the Revoltechs are named. Then it just plugs in straight like that. And he's got his cannon arm, just like Mega Man. He's gonna bust up some stuff with his cannon. So yeah, pretty cool. Now there's a peg hole on the side here. I'm not sure what that's all about because I'm not really familiar with this kit. I also have this piece which I have to figure out what that actually does, and I guess you could probably also just peg like the arm into this as well for the other cannon. I don't know. But yeah, You know, just not a lot of paint on these. It's just a basically solid black figure with a whole sort of generic robot vibe with the whole rivets and stuff like you'd see on a lot of the older mecha. Unfortunately, some of the parts are more fragile than others, like these little prongs and symbol on his head. I mean, the rest feels sturdy enough. Again, because of the revolver joints, you can only really turn this one way. Then you actually have to twist the joint around to get the full range of motion. And of course, the hands can pop out to accommodate the other set, which are open hands. Yeah, thumb broke off. 1 second. I imagine I could probably just glue that in no problem, but for now it's, you know, just a pretty clean break there. Kind of disappointing, but again, when you buy from Hong Kong, kind of have to expect those things possibly happening, and you know, figured it was kind of worth the risk there. I mean, other than that, you know, this is a pretty cool figure and everything. Will definitely help sort of adorn some displays where I have a few monsters, like I have the Revoltech Gios from the Gamera movie. I think that was the 70s Gamera, which I actually picked up recently. Plus, I mean, in general, you know, giant robots are just kind of neat. So yeah, this has been a look at the possibly bootleg GR-2 from Kyoto's Revoltech series. In case you need me to explain the articulation, basically everything is on a revolver joint, so the only exceptions are the hands here, which only rotate, the head, which I believe also will only rotate, but probably want to be careful with that. Everything else, you know, you get the up, down, side to side. It's that wonderful revolver joint. So yeah, if your robot wants to kick a soccer ball, then of course we have a torso joint here with a huge range of motion, because it also has a revolver joint in there. But yeah, Revoltechs do have sort of consistent articulation, at least in terms of the joints used. Fortunately, because all the parts kind of look the same, it's hard to tell how this guy sort of fits together. But yeah, this has been a look at the GR-2. Until next time, folks. One last thing, I forgot to toss in a reminder that Revoltechs are, you know, sort of on a 5-inch scale. I mean, they're not really scaled figures, but this does mean that he will fit in kind of nicely with your Marvel Universe figures, Juggernaut, of course, being a fairly large one, as well as stuff from like your Gundam model kits from like the smaller ones. Yeah, 144th scale. Then again, I'm not sure how the scales for that really work. And even to some extent, you know, just a oversized like Star Wars villain or something. So yeah, until next time, folks.